Yes, that should have been a yellow card, and we've certainly messaged that back to the officials. We want to be consistent.
Possible defensive foul. Oops.
No.
I think he's gone to play the ball.
All right, you got Gabriel running in, you got Party, leave him. Remember,
He's gone
Rice.
to play the ball.
He's already on one.
There's no discipline on field as of yet.
Declan Rice has kicked the ball away.
I mean, he hardly touches the ball anyway. The Brighton player's a bit over-eager and does kick through him on Declan Rice. The ball's still moving, and really, do we want to be sending people off of that?
Just knocked it away.
Yeah.
He's on a second.
Gonna have no choice, mate.
It's a second yellow, mate.
I know, I've got no choice.
Yeah, it's delaying the restart.
I know it is, and I'm going to have to deal with it, aren't I? Second yellow for me.
Yeah, look after yourself.
Just looking at...
When they say to the referee, look after yourself, what that's all about? What is that all about? Look after yourself, Declan Rice might put you in a bloody tombstone, or look after yourself and make the decision that, you know, is robotic and you can't be criticised about. The VAR and a referee club, they're all bloody mates and they're all protecting each other. It's a cover-up. It simply is not fit for purpose. There should be professional people who are employed to analyse VAR who don't have a relationship with the referees. They train together, they probably holiday together. And it's so apparent when you listen to VAR audio that it is just so incompetent.
So,
I have no choice.
Okay.
He knocks
Just
the ball
watching
away.
this, just show me this again. If you
allowed
watch
to kick
Veltman,
it, he knocks the
he's
ball.
looking
Yes,
away,
he
he's
did.
not even looking, he's looking to play the ball there, so for me that's not okay. Are you happy with that?
No,
yeah?
agreed.
Are you happy with that?
Agreed.
He's
no
looking to
choice.
play the
The
ball.
player's running at
That's
you, mate.
Declan Rice's issue, to be
Martin.
honest.
Yeah, it's not an act of violent conduct for me.
Yeah.
Move away. He's put me, no he's not, he's put me in an awful position. He did kick the ball, he did.
Well, you hear the referee saying you put me in an awkward position. Is there anything else he could have done in this situation?
No, I don't think so. Clearly seen Declan Rice commit a foul, then kick the ball away for an opponent who was in the process of taking a free kick. We've messaged very clearly and strongly to the players in pre-season around the importance of not getting involved with the ball once the whistle has gone, not delaying the restart in that way, and we said we'd be consistent in the way that we handle this in the same way we were last season. Numbers of yellow cards for delaying the restart almost doubled last season because people want to see the game, you know, with tempo and flow like we talked about earlier. So I think once he's seen Declan Rice deliberately, clearly kick that ball away from the position of that free kick, then I don't think he's got any choice but send him off.
OK, I'm going to pick this apart a little bit. Arsenal fans say the ball was moving as Declan Rice kicks it away. What do you think? And does it make any difference, more to the point?
Yeah, it may have been, but you know, Declan Rice still felt the need to kick that ball away. It still has that impact, and we have to look at what the player does in this situation. He acts in a way which is very clear. He makes a decision to do that, to take the ball away from the opponent. You know, it's the referee's job to deal with everything else. But, you know, in this situation, the actions of Rice were designed to delay the restart, and therefore I don't think he can have any complaints when his actions then result in a yellow card.
Even though the restart couldn't have been a restart because the ball was still moving?
Well, we don't know for certain, do we? You know, in that situation, the referee looks at that, focuses on Rice's actions and determines that he has to deal with him because those actions are intentionally designed to kick the ball away when he's got no business going near the ball in the first place. Having given away a free kick, he knows he's got to get away and let that free kick be taken and let the referee deal with anything else.
The fact that the ball was moving and basically they're saying, well, that doesn't really matter. Well, the free kick's illegal if the ball is moving. And how can you be making an illegal act on a ball that's moving? How can you be kicking a ball away on a ball that's moving? OK, another clip. In the first half, Joao Pedro kicking the ball away.
Yeah.
Is there a difference?
Well, it's a different...
He wasn't booked in this situation,
He wasn't.
Howard.
He should have been. It's a different type of scenario. It sits in the same kind of bucket around delaying the restart. Of course, he should have been cautioned here. The officials on the field gave him too much benefit of the doubt, feeling that the actions weren't really impactful because they felt that the Arsenal players were not ready to take that throw-in. They were a little bit distance away from the ball, and like Veltman, who was right there. I think when we look at this, it's quite clear that the actions of Pedro do have an impact. They do delay Arsenal's ability to restart, and yes, that should have been a yellow card, and we've certainly messaged that back to the officials. We want to be consistent with our application of these types of disciplinary sanctions. We've committed to dealing with players who delay the restart. Not every touch of the ball after the whistle is going to be a yellow card. We've got to look at what the intentions of the players were, what the impact of the players' actions were. It might be that there's absolutely no impact at all, and therefore we're not going to show a yellow card. But in situations where we see that impact, and there was one with Pedro, we should be seeing a yellow card.
Amazed because how inconsistent decisions can be. In the first half, there are 2 incidents, nothing happens. And then in a non-critical area, the ball hits Declan heel. He turns around, he doesn't see the play coming, he touches the ball. By law, he can make that call. But by law, then he needs to make the next call, which is red card. So we play 10 against 10. So this will amaze me. It's at this level, it's honestly amazing.
Would Chris Kavanagh be resting a little bit easier this morning? Maybe if it wasn't for the Joao Pedro incident in the same game. Mikel Arteta gobsmacked. He talked about inconsistency.
This wasn't a tap, was it? This was a strike.
Do you think he's got a point?
Well, I mean, he's got that completely wrong, the referee. I mean, it's the most obvious yellow card you're ever going to see. That is kicking the ball away, time wasting. You know, that is a booking. So for him to let him off and then give Declan Rice a sending off for his one, I mean, that is completely ridiculous.
What's the argument the referee's saying there?
There is no argument.
He doesn't know that it's...
Listen,
there's no argument.
There's no justification now of the referee.
It's a booking.
Yeah.
He's got it wrong. It's
because that was in the first half, and because it wasn't deemed to be wasting time, and because maybe it's Declan Rice. Because, and I'm, you know, I don't know.
The referee's jumped at the opportunity to send Declan Rice off in a moment where he thinks, oh, you know, look, the spotlight's on me. I'm going to do the letter of the law. But I'm going to give this.
Yeah, but I'm going to send him off for that. Letter of the law.
Come on, that is an absolute. Personally, I think it's a disgrace.
I'm going to kick through him. I'm going to try and take a quick free kick and get him another yellow card for standing in the way of the ball. It was all down to Veltman misbehaving. That's the nicest word I can use. You don't get sent off for that. You don't get a yellow card for that. He's flicked it with the outside of his foot. What about the incident on the halfway line? Is it Joao Pedro?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Yeah. That's kicking the ball away.
But these are the 2 players that were involved when Declan Rice got a yellow card, wasn't it? So when Declan Rice went through him in the first half, this was the same player that he went through to get his yellow card, wasn't it?
Correct.
You've got to ask yourself a question. Irrespective of whether you agree with it, why are we here? I tell you why we're here in this situation. Because players have cheated and simulated and delayed. So you've now got this ridiculous reaction where the officials are stepping in with rules that are ultimately not allowing referees. Yes, he should have booked Joao Pedro, but because he missed that one doesn't mean he should miss this one. What you're asking for is consistency. We saw it in another game, but 2 referees refereeing different matches have the ability to make different mistakes. The problem for us is that why are these rules here? Is it because there's a deep state mentality that wants to control football, or is it because it's a reaction to what players and managers have done for years on the pitch that is now bringing them into... I made an argument last year. We've got to play for an extra 20 minutes. We're going to be... Why have you got to play for an extra 20 minutes? Because you spend your entire time rolling around, feigning injury and simulating situations. So now you've got to play for 20 minutes and you've got the audacity to complain about it. And
but
this
we
is
had
why
this
these rules are here.
conversation last week.
Did we?
I think I said last week, go out in the street, ask 10 football supporters, what are the 2 things they hate most about football? Simulation and VAR. The referees have got a part to play. The referees got no common sense. Yeah, the rule says, well, what about the rule in the first half when the guys kicked it 50 yards down the line?
So the referee's missed it.
There's no consistency.
Yeah, and I agree with you.
How can you miss it? No, he's not missed it.
Well, he's missed it.
He's chose to ignore it.
Well, he's missed it.
But he's chose to ignore it. He's seen it. He's not missed it.
So that must mean he has a bias towards the situation surrounding Declan Rice.
It's not very good.
And that may well be right.
Does he not see? I can see what Veltman was up to.
Well, you
How
would be
can
able
the
to see
referee not see that? He
because you
should
can
have
see
sent him
statistics as
off.
well.
Should have sent him off.
So you think that Veltman did it on purpose?
Yeah, and then he's kicked
him.
through him. Yeah, he's rolled the ball towards him. I'm going to roll it there, and I'm going to take a quick free kick. I'll kick it against Declan Rice, and I'll get Declan Rice sent off. He was the one. He's the one to blame for Declan Rice getting.
So in that moment, he had the presence of mind and the lucidity of thinking to think, I know what I'll do. I'll roll the ball to where the situation manifests itself, and I'll kick it towards him.
He rolled it,
and then I'll boot through him. I'm not denying that may well be the case, and none of us
He's
know
rolled
because
it
only he will
forward.
know.
He's rolled it forward, and if it had stopped, say Declan Rice doesn't kick it, he was going to try and take a quick one. He would have kicked it against Declan Rice to get Declan Rice